Madang conservationist receives UN award. Islanders benefit from water conversion project. And oil search describes 2015 as a challenging year.
This is National EMTV News with Hope Imaka.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. This is Saturday's news. Representatives from the United Nations were in Madang yesterday to celebrate the Equator Prize achievement with Philip Damen. Damen is the clan leader who led the Wanang people to conserve their forest in the middle of a vastly logged area. Roy Trivedi, the UNDP resident representative, presented the Achievement Award after Philip qualified for the Equator Prize last year. Rachel Shise with this report.
Philip Damen, his leadership and his people's support has caused the United Nations to come all the way to Madang to celebrate Philip's people's achievement of being the Equator Prize recipient last year among 126 other countries from around the world. The United Nations rep says he was fascinated about the Wanang local sections, the research by the Binatang researchers, and the links and inputs from professors of universities from around the world.
Actually, I'm thrilled, absolutely thrilled by the work that you're achieving. You are an example to the whole of the world.
This follows Philip receiving the Equator Prize on behalf of his people last year for an outstanding effort by his people to conserve their forest in the middle of a vastly logged area. The provincial administrator, Deneloloy, on behalf of the provincial government said Madang's experience didn't have a good start, which saw the forest of the Transkogul LLG almost depleted to nothing. And with Wanang's international achievement, the government must be conscious of the environment.
Wanang's achievement is really an achievement for the province, both at the national level and international level. The challenge for us at the province now is to sustain that achievements and duplicate the achievements in other aspects of our development.
Also present at the ceremony today was the Usino Bundi MP, Anton Yagama, expressing his gratitude to his people.
The Wanang Conservation Area is one of 21 community initiatives from across the world awarded the Equator Prize in 2015, which was last year, selected from 1,461 nominations from 126 countries. Rachel Shise, National EMTV News, Madang.
About 800 people on Mbuke Island in Manus province will benefit from the solar-powered seawater desalination technology that will convert seawater to freshwater. Mbuke Island will be among 5 other villages in Manus province that will pilot the country's first desalination project. Mbuke Island Councillor Selan Kaliwin says water is a necessity on the island and they appreciate the Japanese government partnership in installing the technology.
Island communities in the Pacific are vulnerable to effects of drought and climate change, and islands in Manus province are no different. Water shortages during dry seasons remain a challenge for many years. In Buke Island, though many households now own a tank for storing water, they still feel the effect when the dry season continues for over a month.
Mailan, oni way lok simwara am tam loren. Nakisim no anito crown ni kamampora.
5 islands in Manus province, BP, Buke and Wal, Nauna, Mal and Awa Islands will pilot the first solar-powered seawater desalination system in the country. Managed by the National Planning Department, a Japanese contractor called Sojitz started drilling the first system on BP Island on Thursday. The technology will convert seawater into fresh water for cooking and drinking.
Through these pilot projects, we hope that it can be replicated using a DSIP, PSIP and LLSIP.
The project came about after the Pacific Island countries' prime ministers meeting in 2009 with the Japanese prime minister. In the meeting, Japan pledged a $66 million to the Pacific countries for addressing climate change.
And Papua New Guinea was fortunate to get $4 million, which is approximately 10 million kina. And the projects that they targeted under this pledge was to do any projects to do with climate change.
Now, Manus is always having constant rain, but there are times that it really dries. Once it dries, it takes months, or even like during the Sesa, it goes about 6 months or even almost to 11 months. And that's where it affecting the whole province.
Project manager Tom Anayabere requested cooperation from the Manus Islanders. The project was launched in Lorengau early this week. Quinten Alomp, National EMTV News.
It's not often that the Supreme Head of the Catholic Church sends out a congratulatory message to a faithful servant, but that's what Pope Francis did when he congratulated Bishop Ambrose for his 25 years as a bishop for the local diocese in Kavieng and Lorengau. The Pope's message was read out in church by the Archbishop of Rabaul, Francisco Panfilo. Pope Francis described Bishop Ambrose as a man of God who entrusted his life as a missionary of the Sacred Heart. Fabian Haklitz has more.
Leader of the Catholic Church, Pope Francis has congratulated Bishop Ambrose for his 25 years of Silver Jubilee as the Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Kavieng and Lorengau. Bishop Ambrose from Lihir in New Ireland was ordained as a priest of the Missionaries of the Sacred Heart, MSC, on January 7, 1977. Rabaul Archbishop Francisco Panfilo delivered the Pope's message, which was received with gratitude.
Francis, and I can tell you that is signed by Pope Francis himself. It does not happen very often. That's all. We accompany your anniversary with our prayers and we ask you not to forget us in yours. Thus, we are pleased to express with this letter our wholehearted joy and congratulations as we recall the distinguished moments and events of your life and activity.
In the letter, Pope Francis stated that Bishop Ambrose have carried out his episcopal ministry with an apostolic spirit, trusting in divine providence and with Mary, Mother of God.
To this end, it is helpful to encourage frequent confession and spiritual direction, family prayer leading to the Eucharist, for we pastors ought to uplift the spirits of families that they may grow in the faith.
Pope Francis also sent his blessings to the priests and religious who have committed themselves in the service of the Church and God's people.
Which as a sign of divine grace we impart first of all upon you, then upon the priests, religious men and women, and then upon the whole community of Kavieng, while we earnestly entreat your prayers for the faithful exercise of our ministry.
Now, Bishop Ambrose is one of the longest-serving bishops of Papua New Guinea. When consecrated as a diocesan bishop on May 12, 1991, now that's 25 years ago, he chose this motto to give directions to his episcopal ministry, to love the people entrusted to his care, to provide justice to them, and yet be humble before God, who will render an account regarding to whatever his service was. In Kavieng, New Ireland Province, Fabian Haklitz, National EMTV News.
Still to come on National MTV News, BSP's support for the Australia PNG Business Forum and the challenges for oil search in 2015. Stay with us. Welcome back. Bank South Pacific is keen to participate at the 32nd Australia PNG Business Forum and Trade Expo and has given 11,000 kina in support. BSP has been a supporter of this initiative with the belief that it is promoting PNG's potential and encouraging investments in the country. The bank's delegation will be led by BSP Group General Manager Retail Paul Thornton, who will be doing a presentation on building financial capability. The Australia PNG Business Forum will be held in Cairns, Australia from May 15th to the 17th. 2015 has been described as a challenging year for oil search. Despite record levels of production achieved through its operations, low world oil prices continued to affect the company, the single biggest private sector investor in PNG. Mirabatulo reports.
The motion has been proposed.
At its annual general meeting today, shareholders of Oil Search were given an overview of the company's performance in 2015. Board Chairman Rick Lee reaffirmed the positive impact of LNG to Oil Search's business, particularly in regards to the output from the PNG LNG project.
The project has performed above expectations. In recent months, the project has been consistently producing at around 8 million tonnes per annum, well above its nameplate capacity of 6.9 million tonnes per annum.
Oil Search Managing Director Peter Botten also spoke of the effect of PNG LNG, adding that the company was now looking to broaden its reach in gas development, particularly with the possible development of the Pinyang gas field as well as Papua LNG.
We've got also drilling in the Gulf. We've got appraisal work at Antelope and appraisal work at Pinyang, along with some other appraisal work in our gas fields at Kimu, Barakiwa, all of which slated for the next 12-18 months. We'll continue to look for and appraise our resource base in PNG, and there remains substantial upside.
Challenges do remain for Oil Search: low world oil prices, aging infrastructure, as well as the current lack of liquidity in foreign exchange in country.
Overall, then, we're reasonably comfortable because of our US dollar revenue stream that we can manage FX, and we do what we can to help provide foreign currency into the system here.
Meribatulo, National MTV News.
Return to class on Monday, or you may find yourselves unable to continue courses you were enrolled in at the university. That was the message from the UPNG Council to students yesterday. Chancellor Nicholas Mann said their main concern is that students continue their education and not pursue national issues that are before the court. While Vice-Chancellor Professor Albert Mellam told medical faculty students at the Tarama campus that the Higher Education Minister, Malakai Tabar, is willing to receive the petition for the second time.
Last week, the UPNG Senate released a circular directing students to return to class by Friday the 13th or risk the continuation of their courses. Yesterday, the UPNG Council backed the Senate, urging students to return to class to allow the academic year to continue.
We've had dialogue with the students through the VC's office, and the management have the forum. So we've asked them to go back to class by Monday. Council has directed university staff to be prepared for normalcy on Monday.
While addressing students at the UPNG Tarama campus, Vice-Chancellor Albert Mellam urged the students to return to class on Monday and also told the student that the Higher Education Minister, Malakai Tabar, would be willing to receive the petition again.
And spoke very briefly to the Minister for Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, and he has expressed his willingness to come and receive that petition. It might happen in a medical school. I don't know. That's not my space. But he's conveyed his goodwill to receive that petition.
Medical faculty student representative Herman Piemo responded saying that the medical faculty was not a school of its own but another campus of the main UPNG campus, and whatever they decide, MedFac will follow.
Wherever the head lead, the tail will follow.
The UPNG Council is adamant that the issue with the education of the students is paramount and not the issue that are before the courts. Adelaide Xerox, Kari National, EMTV News.
Elementary school teachers in Leh District haven't been paid their salary after attending a number of trainings to become qualified teachers. These teachers underwent 6 weeks of teachers training at Markham District last year. Since then, they have been teaching without pay. The elementary teachers are now calling on the Education Department to pay them before they attend training in June this year.
The teachers have not been paid after completing 6 weeks training at Markham District's Bobong area last year. They paid the Provincial Education Division 1,300 kina each to attend the training.
The issue is that Taimipla Golo Bobom, after training Mipla or talking TDD trainer or talking Mipla Osem, HQM talking Mipla Osem, same speed Mipla ba on pay, but that did not come up. Osem Mipla Osem put the issue Osem Mipla like on pay, and then Mipla ba go next training law Finjapan Ellis Park 2000 this year 2016.
When they sought clarification at the Leh District office, the teachers were told that they would have to attend a second training in June this year with a fee of 2,800 kina each to be registered. The teachers blamed the Provincial Education Department for the delay in the salary payments.
But they promised us that when finished from Bobong elementary course, Bambla come on TDT training, also Bambla come on pay. And now we are on field teachings, and we have they come, Mipla come check him up, pay Blo Mipla, Mipla come on talk Mipla, you have to go and look for 2,800.
The Provincial Elementary Coordinator, Haring Koreka, shifted the blame to the salary section from the National Education Department.
I personally presented this document to salary section, and I was promised several times that they would get our teachers on payroll. But to date, after getting more than 500 teachers on payroll, we still remain with 200 still yet to be on payroll, and I'm talking about those who have trained in 2008 up to 2012, up to 2013, 14 and 15.
Koreka said that this year, provincial elementary teachers training will be conducted at Balop Teachers College instead of in the districts.
Trained last year, we are now processing their documents, and if we are lucky enough, our teachers will be on payroll while they attend the training, which is double bonus.
Julie Badui Owa, National EMTV News, Leh.
And now heading overseas, it's been 2 years since anyone has stood on top of the world's tallest peak. But now climbers are returning to scale Mount Everest. That's after the fatal avalanches and earthquake put a temporary stop to expeditions.
Return to the top of the world. An international team of climbers reached the summit of Mount Everest, the first to make it to the top of the world's tallest peak since a series of deadly disasters. A team of 9 Nepali Sherpa guides were first to the summit from the Nepali side on Wednesday, followed by 2 British climbers and a third from Mexico.
Today morning, 8 to 5 a.m., so 3 foreigners and 3 Nepali Sherpas. They climbed the Mount Everest, so it's a confirmed news.
Among the 3 climbers, Britain's Kenton Cool, who's made it to the top of the 29,000-foot peak before. In fact, with his latest successful summit, Cool is the first Brit to do it 12 times.
We just summited Mount Everest with a gold medal. Literally got back down about half hour ago, less than that.
This was Cool's elated reaction the last time he summited Everest in 2012. With his team reported to be safely on their way down, it's much needed good news for Nepal and the climbing community. Last year, a massive earthquake triggered this avalanche on Everest, killing 19 climbers and leaving dozens more hurt. The climbing season was essentially canceled. The year before, another avalanche killed 16 Nepali Sherpa guides. Only one climber scaled Everest all year. The double disasters decimated Nepal's mountaineering industry, a major revenue earner for the country. But now they're hoping to bounce back. And with Cool's latest high-altitude feat, around 100 other climbers are expected to try to summit Mount Everest in the coming days.
Chukai Sports is next. That's after the break.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. Capital Rugby Union held their grand final matches today at the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium in Port Moresby. In the women's division, Spartans defeated Wanderers, claiming this year's 2016 Premiership title. Hull Queens defeated Valley Hunters in the under-19 division. In the A-grade division, Wanderers battled with the University Piggies in a match that went down to the wire, keeping the crowd on their feet. Wanderers proved to be the better team, beating Piggies 8 points to 7. The Premier Division saw a determined Piggies outfit fight back after trailing most of the match, beating Defence 10 points to 9, winning this year's Premiership title. Claims that Japan bribed its way to win the bid to host the 2020 Olympic Games have been refuted. A Japanese government representative said he would respond to media reports that a payment of over 1 million euros was paid for the winning bid. Tokyo won the right to stage the 2020 Games at the IOC's session in Buenos Aires in 2013, beating rival bids from Istanbul and Madrid. The weather details for the next 24 hours, that's after the break.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
Your weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. In the southern region, fine weather for tonight but sunny tomorrow for Port Moresby. Few occasional showers for Daru. Partly cloudy at times with chances of few showers for Kerema and fine weather for Alatau and Popondetta. In the Momase region, mostly fine weather for Leh, chances of late night showers for Madang and showers for Wewak and Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands, showers for Lorengau, showers with occasional thunderstorms for Kavieng, and evening thunderstorms for Kokopo, Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka. In the Highlands region, chances of few showers tonight, then morning fog for Mount Hagen and Goroka, and few showers, then morning fog for Mendi, Wabeg and Kundiawa. And that's the news, sports and weather this Saturday, the 14th of May. On behalf of the EMTV News team, I'm Hope Imaka. Pleasant viewing. Good night.